Hey guys, we'll get started in just a minute or two. AR, why don't you try talking so we can make sure they can actually hear you?
It should be going better this time. I plugged in the wired connection right off the bat, so.
Okay, Dev, why don't you try talking for a moment?
I'm not actually hearing any weird buzzing or fading in or out this time, so I'm gonna say that that's a good thing.
Yeah, quite a few things have been changed. AR, talk for another just moment so I can turn this down a bit.
Okay, fine.
Okay, a bit more.
Oh, jeez.
Okay,
Ask. So
okay.
demanding.
Dev, talk for a moment, please.
I'll have everyone know that I'm running on next to no sleep because I had to get up at 5 a.m. to do an inventory shift at another store, and it was terrible.
Hooray! I don't miss doing inventory at stores.
It's worse because they stuck me in clearance,
Ugh.
which was a colossal disaster, and one shelf had 672 iron-on patches that I had to individually scan.
Ooh.
We need anyone in the chat to confirm that they can actually hear both of you. Because the setup has changed, so that is an actual concern that even though, as far as I can tell, the audio is being sent, I need someone who is not us to confirm they can hear all of us. Okay, Eduardo confirms that he can hear all three of us. So that is good.
Well, Eduardo
Okay.
just said yes.
Yeah. Well,
I would assume that's what I hope that means.
he's since updated.
Okay, there we
Okay.
go.
Okay, you guys ready to get started?
Woohoo!
I'll take that as yes. Welcome to the WtW podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, a run with the Will.
I'm AR Pulver, Digimon System Restore.
I'm DevQ, and I spend too much time on Wikimon.
And today we say goodbye to two long-standing members of the WtW podcast family. The first is AR's audio issues. We've figured out what they are, and they should be gone.
No, don't give it a funeral now. That's when it comes back from the grave and haunts us in some other unexplained reasons. It is Halloween coming up.
That's true. And that
That
was creepier than I expected, Dev.
that was really effective.
Yeah, for a moment I had to go, is her audio breaking? And also, we're saying goodbye to my ugly red headset, which is gone. Well, not gone, it's sitting right behind me, it's just not being used. Got a new one. I actually had two of the different red headsets because they replaced one with a second one, and then the same problem began to crop up slowly again. I was dealing with it for the show, but grabbed a new one during Prime Day from a different brand, and hopefully no more issues there.
It's riveting stuff for an audio podcast.
It's helpful to have audio that works. It's not
At
always,
least
yeah.
at least my audio issues are relevant. Like people are affected by that.
My audio issue, no. The problem was that it would not route my audio through the headset. It was just that I would fiddle with it so much before the show that I was able to clear it up as long as I didn't move too much. So it was an actual issue. It just didn't come up anytime recently because I would always try to deal with it before the show. It appears to be that same issue we had, a year and a half ago where the audio would begin to cut out? It's
Ah,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just was me fiddling with it so much that it became invisible to everyone, even though I was still dealing with it. But it is gone. New headset.
I mean,
Hooray.
it sounds exactly like the issue with my Wacom tablet, where it's like, oh, I have an entire column of dead pickles, but I just shuffled my workspace around and flipped everything to the other side that I'm not necessarily going over that dead spot.
Yes, that is actually exactly what the issue with the headset was. Is it would not recognize the cable being plugged in, or it would do the audio but not the microphone, or I'd only get audio in one ear. It would basically be me fiddling with it for 5 minutes before an episode, and I can hear now. And that is why we had to test things, because I actually had when me and AR did a test last week, I could not hear him, which was interesting.
That was a thing.
Yes. How has the last week been for everyone outside of headphone and audio related issues?
I'm okay.
And yeah, Dev's had a day. There's been work. There's been dogs. I don't think you really want to talk about it, do you, Dev? Minus to say you've had a day.
I've been up since 5 a.m. and I had to drive a very long time, and then I come home to the entire living room just like it looks like something out of Home Alone, where there's just like feathers and debris everywhere, and the dogs apparently broke into my room and stole my bedding and destroyed it, along with some very expensive figurines.
Yeah, Dev sent me a photo, but before the photo, I got messages from her about how crazy everything was, and I thought she had been robbed or something at first. And then she sends me a photo of her dog sitting there smiling in the midst of just a room that's been destroyed.
Everywhere.
He was very pleased with himself, I have to say.
Just a furry asshole.
And he's just as pleased with himself as AR is with this episode. Isn't that right, AR? You love this episode, as far as I know.
Yeah. It had issues.
Grab the episode and shake his head around until it like fell apart everywhere.
I wish I could.
Well, that did happen in the episode. You had Splashmon the dog grab Metal Greymon and just start grabbing at him.
Splashmon was like the best part of the episode, so.
Yeah. So we get them chasing after the egg, and then the main issue with this episode isn't even that there's too much happening and nothing happens at the same time. So the main
this is almost a filler episode.
No,
sadly.
no, that's the thing is it's not a filler episode. It's that there's like 4 different plots going, and it's not clear yet what is plot relevant minus what is in theory the A plot where nothing actually so the A plot is Splashmon fighting blah 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 blah. During this, Takaru wanders off and gets into kid shenanigans. Then we have Sora and Koshiro still in the park.
They were in that park for a long time.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be the next day at first, to be honest.
I think it is supposed to be the next day, if we're being totally honest. I think that they're just meeting in the park daily. And they're just having their get-together just to touch base, check up on things.
See, I took it as that it's the same day, and it's showing why Mimi and Joe are late.
That's what I also assumed, because they said, oh yeah, they should be here at some point.
Okay, so
I don't know. Is the time synchronized between digital world and real worlds now? Or
they haven't told us.
Oh,
so Mimi's doing Ojo-sama things.
I like that they actually show the estate. Give us a broader picture of just how stupidly wealthy that family is. Because we got that, there were hints of that in the past, but actually seeing that is really nice. It's also weird seeing Grandpa, this revered figure, this whole time there with Mimi's parents, who are the same folks from the original series. No change whatsoever.
Joe's getting chewed out by his mom, which we don't actually see, we just hear about. And his brother helps him with shenanigans.
It's a little concerning that Shin had a bug-out bag ready for Joe the moment he showed a hint of independence.
See, that's not how I took it as, but let's finish going through how many different plots there are. And then in theory, the last one is we find out what happened to the other Digimon. They're just in the network, and Algomon and Calamarimon are causing issues.
Which is actually probably that's probably the most important thing in the episode, honestly.
It's the one that
Calamarimon and Algomon causing issues.
It's the one that feels like there has to be the most story to it. Maybe the A plot based on what happens in the next episode, because that has to be plot important.
I mean, if it's going to be plot important because they haven't resolved what's going on with the tanker, it's a question of whether or not it will still be the A plot next week. Like, it still might be split evenly
be honest,
between...
It is.
Okay.
I don't trust them to not have the A plot be them walking through the tower.
Oh, I don't try. I think they can. Yeah,
that's going to be the A plot. I'm 100% sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of crap.
Oh, I don't
they're
disagree.
going to do a split point of view, kind of like they did with this episode, or if it's going to be like one episode, like 90% dedicated to one or the other.
No, because if you're gonna show only one of them, I think the tanker is the most urgent thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's more likely it's going to be a split thing, and neither of them will get enough attention.
That's what I'm expecting. Yeah. So, like you said, Mimi's parents are the same, and one of them is the same actor. Even it's Tentomon. They announced some not quite guest stars before the show, which was that Masahiro Sakurai would be playing someone. Mimi's actress appears to be playing her mom also. And Joe's actor is playing his brother, which they even noted it was very interesting to watch him play against himself because it was a good conversation between two characters played by the same actor. It worked really well.
Yeah.
Now,
we're no stranger to that.
No, but
Iori and Ramadi-man.
Yeah, sure, but it's a bit different when it's two characters standing around.
Kind of reminds me of back in Tamers with Renamon and the grandma.
Yeah.
There you go.
So the bug out bag was one of the things you had focused on, AR, as I recall. And you mentioned it a moment ago. So I didn't see it quite like that. I saw it as Joe generally does what's expected of him. So the fact that he seemed to do something else meant that it was important, and he was helping his little brother, rather than it being, oh, he has a prepared thing so Joe can run off. I saw it as that Joe did something that was important to him, and he was going to support that, even if it doesn't know what it is.
You're probably right. It's just
funnier the other way, though.
It just looks weird.
Yeah, it would help if they had done more personality stuff with Joe outside of him being the butt.
But also, it's like we're getting personality and characterization for the extended family this time around. They're not just like random characters in the background.
They kind of felt more like random characters to me, to be honest, because like let's look at Mimi's parents. What is the point of them being there outside to go, oh, Mimi, you should just stay here? Did they do
quality
anything?
Animation, obviously.
Yeah, it came across as plot devices for those two rather than actual characters, and that's kind of what I expected, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean Shin's a little more like you can get some notes. You can get some notes out of Shin, but it's a start. Like it's something. I didn't dislike that, but it really is just kind of a fleeting moment and doesn't add up to a whole lot.
Yeah. The one thing I did like, which was as part of the Calamarimon Algomon plot, Sora had no idea who they were, and Koshiro didn't quite fully recognize them at first, since he hadn't seen that level of them. I actually thought that was a nice touch.
I didn't really have any feelings about that. Like, I mean, one thing is that Koshiro is looking at it through a computer screen, so I can see how perhaps he wouldn't recognize the features of Algomon at a different level, because they're all, for those first few levels are all kind of the same concept before they get all, before he gets all perfect and ultimate. But it's still, it's fine.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the most important part of the episode. Palmon cannot fly, but Gomamon can swim with style.
He's gliding? I don't know. Also, it's the network, so it's like, do you actually need to fly? Is gravity a thing in the network?
See, I kind of read it as him.
Net ocean?
It's a net ocean. There you go.
I saw it as him swimming, sort of like Calamarimon was. We just aren't seeing much in the way of animation for it. It was just funny to see Palmon get grabbed, because even if you can swim through it, would she just be like waving her arms, trying to go? That could have actually been a good humor moment if they had showed us her trying to do something.
Yeah, show her trying to do it, and then the other two grab her out of pity. Yeah, that would have worked probably a little better.
Yeah. And
kind of like in the previous series where Patamon tries to fly, but he's just like going at like 1 mile per hour.
Yeah. And I forgot, before the Splashmons fight, Spatamon shows up and actually has a couple lines, and they got his original actress to play him, which was... It's always a weird touch when there's so few lines. Like, it's nice that they went to the effort, but it really was unnecessary.
Would have been weirder if Falcomon had gotten a couple lines in that. and they'd gotten the original actor back, because I don't remember a whole lot from Spotamon and Cross Wars, but Spotamon didn't really leave an impression on me in Cross Wars.
I vaguely remember the one episode, and that was about it.
Yeah,
but yeah,
he's in more than one episode, but yeah.
No, but I mean the one focus episode.
He got a focus episode?
I think the episode where they introduced him, they had focusy stuff on him, I think.
Huh.
I could be wrong.
I couldn't tell you.
It's been 10 years.
Yeah. And then Eldoradimon shows up. That head thing was fucking weird, I have to say. Did it
where
like
it just opens up the top of his
that
head
was
like a patch?
Yeah, that when that happened, that kind of was like, it feels like this is a visual they didn't plan out well, because it makes sense,
yeah,
but also it looked disturbing to do.
I don't remember if they ever actually showed them going into Eldoradimon in Savers at any point, or if it was just they were outside and then they were inside.
Yeah,
I think
if they went inside,
they
certainly didn't go in that way.
Back.
Yeah.
Like last time, its head didn't open up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember. It just, that was weird to me.
Yeah, I think in Savers they mostly went in through the actual castle on top of it.
And then the Splashmon fight continues on. That was a fight that just kept going, and also nothing kind of happens until the very end. I don't remember 90% of that fight.
Yeah, it was very Splashmon is cool. Splashmon has, I like that he has a lot of interesting creative tactics that he uses. He has some interesting looks that he can throw at them. That I didn't mind so much. Metal Greymon and Garurumon just really didn't contribute anything at all. They just use very conventional, their usual, just attack it and hope it stops moving, and Splashmon isn't about that.
It might work.
And then Taichi runs up to try to help, and then we get the... Don't get me wrong, I like the visual, but man, it's a fucking cheat to do a mode change there. It's really a cheat.
Oh, it's totally a cheat, yeah.
But here's the thing. I like the visual. I like the mode. I like that it's a new mode change. It's not a fulfilling cheat for two reasons. One, we're not that far off from an evolution arc anyways. And the other thing is so he has the big railgun with the Alteros arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
But his normal special move in this series is the double cannon from his chest. It's the same.
It doesn't necessarily suggest that it's more powerful.
No, but
it might just be like
using an
electric tap against the water type.
But what I mean is it's supposed to be, oh man, he has a great laser cannon move, but it is functionally the same move, even if it is wink wink stronger. It's a move he's used over. And yes, I know it's not the same move, but you know what I mean? It's
range attack.
Yeah, it's why it was so neat to see Giga Destroyer get used a few episodes ago, because they hadn't used it in the show. And here we get him not evolve to have a weapon that he more or less already had. It wasn't fulfilling in that. I like them introducing a weapon that a different Metal Greymon had, though, to be honest. That I did like.
Yeah, it's just I just can't get over that they need to do another pseudo evolution arc for everybody, and it's going to be everybody again.
See, I'm trying to decide if I think it will be everybody, because at the moment the other kids aren't with their Digimon.
I don't know if it'll be right away. It might be the first two, and then they'll hold off for a couple episodes.
If it's spread out a bit, it may work. I'm just saying I don't want to sit there for 6 more episodes, have them do this again.
Well, I don't want them to do 6 episodes in total. Even if it is spaced out a little bit more.
Yeah,
that's what I was kind of expecting. Me. I was kind of thinking he was going to do like Virus Metal Greymon, oh, you recklessly threw yourself into the jaws of another Digimon, just goes virus and just goes berserk. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I don't think I was expecting that to be honest. At least me, I don't think I was.
Yeah, that would have been a little too much. I probably would have appreciated that more, in the sense that it suggests that Taichi has faults, which kind of is necessary at this point. But I don't think what he's doing right now would constitute a fault. Like, that's still pretty.
Yeah, that's the heroic.
It's still kind of a bold move, even though he's been doing it all series long.
That's the heroic thing, rushing in to help a friend, even though he can't do anything. We need him.
You can't.
For it to be a fault, it has to be the stupid thing.
Yeah, it can't go dark for that. Like, I hope he does a stupid thing eventually. He needs to do a stupid thing at some point.
Yeah.
I think what bugged me about that is that he got this evolution, even though, like, this is the problem with when Taichi is in the front lines this whole time. And, he's constantly, it's suggested that he's putting himself on the line all this time. And that's what all these, everyone's crowing about with this new series. It's like, look at them. They're always riding in with their Digimon. And so Taichi is always putting himself in danger. And now he does it one more time, and it just didn't feel that special to me. Like, okay, he's throwing himself.
You aren't wrong.
He's putting himself at risk again, and this is the time he gets a half evolution out of it.
Yeah, you aren't wrong. And do we have anything to say about Skull Knightmon? Because he doesn't really do much here. Like, it's nice to see him, but here he's just evilly.
He rads and runs.
He's he's fulfilling a mission.
Yeah. Now,
and that's really all you can say about. And that's honestly all you can say. Really, that's all you can say about Splashmon too. To be honest.
Yeah, but it appears we'll get some good stuff with him next time, though, which I'm looking forward to.
Actually, I'm delighted by Dark Maildramon. It's adorable. I want one.
I don't know what to like. For some reason, people seem far more very interested to talk about him even before the episode aired, and I just don't get me wrong. I know it's been confirmed it's a new Digimon. He has the new wings. It's not super interesting to me personally that repaint.
It's aesthetic. It is like it's you can claim it to be a new Digimon. It is just a repaint.
Yeah.
Like at the same time, Maildramon isn't one that's gotten a whole lot of love in the anime before. So getting that one, working that back in the picture in a cool new form, that's not bad. It just doesn't really do anything. It's again just like Skull. It's just a part of Skull Knightmon.
Yeah, but we'll see what comes up next time, because we get to see his bigger form next time, which everyone seems much more excited about, which I'm kind of looking forward to.
Are we done with this episode?
Do we have anything else to say about it?
Yeah, Takeru's really boring. Takeru is either really boring or he is just incredibly weird and kind of like season 1 Hikari and kind of a cryptid. Because Takeru shows either shows absolutely no personality, or he shows an incredible lack of awareness for where he is and what's going on around him, and that's really telling.
I mean,
I'm not sure
I'm not
sure which it is. But
that's
it's probably
kid anime plot, though.
It's kid anime plot, but it's Digimon, so we should. I really wish that Takeru would be aware of the fact that he is in a parallel world and there is stuff going around trying to kill him. That maybe he should react to that. I don't know.
Maybe he should.
Maybe,
but
Takeru hasn't reacted to anything this entire show.
He's just happy he has his original hat back. He has one hat. He will continue to have one hat. He's just happy he doesn't have 10 hats every time.
It's not his original hat. This is the new Tachikawa hat.
It's the same hat with different coloring and a patch that is sometimes there and sometimes is not drawn.
Yeah, Takeru's disappointing. Or he is a cryptid.
We'll
and
find
that's awesome.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is not a cryptid. I think I'm willing to go ahead and say, and of course I know you're joking. I just feel it necessary to comment.
Hikari was a cryptid. It's okay.
Now, I really like how the Blu-ray box looks. Now that we get the nice product layout, we get to see it in a bit more detail than some of the previews. I really like how this looks, and I'm really hoping that it feels like this is meant to be an ongoing theme that we'll see with the other kids, but it also wouldn't be shocking if it was Box 2's Taichi and Yamato. Box 3 is Taichi and Sora. I kind of hope they don't do that, but I could see them
Well,
doing
I
that
mean,
very
you'd
easily.
assume that there's going to be more than 4 with this
Yeah, but they could.
series.
Yeah, but they could change the theme after 4 of them.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I'd prefer consistency to the whole thing. I don't think 4 is a magic number in this case.
It's not, but I meant more them running out of that theme after 4 of them.
Oh, they could
Yeah,
probably do like the 5th one with like everyone on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be okay. But keep a lot of the same, fonts and such.
Yeah.
The same general design,
I
and
liked.
eventually
I
maybe
like.
have the last one being everybody or something.
Yeah, I really like the look, and I actually kind of like that minus the spine, it doesn't actually use the show logo. It just kind of does a stylistic little number with the name in it. And the art's good, and everything just looks really nice to me.
I
And
would
that's
say that the booklet they're going to have to change up each time, I would hope.
hopefully. We know there's going to be an interview in this one, so I'm hoping they're just framing that for every time, so we will see. And this is out December 2nd, so basically a month away. And then pre-orders for box 2 are already open, which feels weird to be saying that we're getting box after box like that. It feels odd. Poor Atmon was the only one we got like that. It was just DVDs. And then we get a bunch of product stuff. The general version of the third wave of Shoto figures are up for pre-order. I still don't know like which one I actually like the best. Zudomon really does look good though.
It's Zodomon. Yeah, no, it's no contest for me.
Yeah, it's still going for Zudomon. He just looks so nice.
Yeah. Then in V Jump, we got some decent. We got to see preview of the Imperial Dramon kit, which we've seen a few times. Dukemon X and Rare Eyes because why not? And then one last preview of the Ichiban Kuji lottery stuff before that's out. And then for those looking forward to the figure arts, we got a nice little preview of that with them doing a lot of comparison to the original version of the figure. I'm
really helpful.
I know I'm really looking forward to this, and the comparison stuff they did really helps, especially stuff like the modified stand and the cape. The cape is where they really upgraded it over the old one.
Like I'm actually considering it, assuming I have money.
It probably won't. It won't help Dev avoiding it that Premium Bandai USA has it, so you can skip intermediary fees. So good luck avoiding it, Dev. And then they gave us Rebellion's Ecology for the Pendulum Z. I still don't know what I think of Machmon's look, but Rebellion I like. I'm still trying to waft if I did think we're gonna see busted up Ogremon show up as him later or not. It feels like we're meant to think that though.
I would not complain about that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
I mean,
neat to see.
Yeah, you got to think at some point they're going to work these new guys in there.
Yeah.
So
like, bitch,
that
thought
would.
you'd seen the last of me.
Yeah, I keep
No.
trying. I keep trying to decide if I think we've seen the last of Ogremon or not. I've generally leaning towards no.
It's so hard to say.
Yeah.
I mean, Leomon's still alive, so there's a good chance that they'll, pull Ogremon out some point before they
we'll
kill
see.
Leomon.
Well, you I don't know, because they haven't really established the Ogremon Leomon thing in this world, so that's not a given that they're going to go back to that.
Yeah.
True.
We'll see though. It's possible, but if they were going to have that rivalry, you would have thought they could have thrown in a line about it. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
And then they went crazy with cards the last week. So, on top of the normal previews, we got all the booster set 3 cards, minus a couple at this point, and it's hard to comment on these because they just all look so nice. Like, there's only 1 or 2 this time that aren't top tier. Didn't hear what you said, Dev.
I love the Lopmon. I just want to hug it.
I like give me Tsakaimon. I always like it
Yeah,
when Tsakaimon gets some attention.
yeah, he looks very mischievous, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks exactly
Yeah.
what you would expect from evil Patamon.
Now, would you like to guess that looking at Japanese card shops, what card's already the most expensive to buy as a single?
Could it be Omegamon?
Yes. Can you guess the second one?
Is it also Omegamon?
Yes. Yeah, I'm just waiting for a non-badly scanned of the parallel card to put up, which hopefully that will show up soon. But yes, it's the parallel card's already going for about 100. The normal one's already going for about 60. Omegamon's not even in this set, and he wins because Alter S's. That's how much Omegamon stuff sells.
Everyone's a slut for Omegamon.
Yep. And then we have previews of English cards. And look, it's Omnimon. We're not talking about Omegamon for once.
I'm actually surprised that they went with they
Oh,
kept the name Omnimon. And
I'm
it's
not
like I know
shocked
that
at
they
all.
went with I know they went with dub terms for most of the things, but Omegamon they used in Rear-Eyes. So I wonder if they were trying to do a light transition in that.
Generally speaking, the only stuff where we've had Omegamon has either been some sort of misclarification or Bandai Asia's handling the localization, and that's what they use. Occasionally, some of those they've partially have been cleaned up by Bandai USA, which is where we sometimes get stuff like they will call him Omegamon, but they will call Alter S. Did I say Omegamon or did I say Omnimon a moment ago?
Who said Omegamon on that one?
Yeah. So sometimes what happens is Omnimon will show up, and because Alter S hasn't shown up in anything with a name change, he stays Omegamon. But yeah, so getting those. Then we got our first look at Booster Set 4 from V-Jump. Hey, look, it's gonna be a War Greymon. It's gonna be a Greymon set just like we knew, but we get Ognimon, which let's see how they integrate Frontier stuff in, because the levels for those have gotten weirder over the last year. Because are they gonna make him child like they did with Duskmon? We don't know. We got the card list for the 3 new boosters, 3 new starter decks, which interesting lineups for all of those. Not that shocking, though. Although, once again, we do not get the full line for Jazamon. They're being mean to him lately. And we also get to see 3 dark promo cards. What was that, Dev?
Why are they being mean to the poor baby?
And then we get 3 dark promo cards, which I like when they're so mean about these. They go, there's 3 promo cards. You'll get 2 of them.
Oh.
Yeah, they literally said, buy any 2 of the 6 starter decks starting November 27th, and you'll get a promo pack with 2 of these 3 promo cards. That feels dickish, doesn't it? Like, that's mean.
Amazingly dickish.
I know. And then we get photos of the Tamer's Evolution box items we didn't before, the playmat, which I don't know why it didn't occur to me that these are the 8 they were going to have on the playmat, because they're in everything else on the set. So, art for War Greymon, Metal Garurumon, and then all the perfects looks nice as expected. They changed the card sleeve design slightly. We got to see the box, which is a box. And then they did a match on Fun Digico, which people seem to like, and they started doing for Digimon Classroom the Road to Digicom Master, where they're being taught how to play the card game. And by them, we mean the kids they want to buy the card game.
That works.
It works. There's been a lot of card game stuff last week. I'm sitting here like staring at everything going, wow, have forgotten about anything. I'm sure something got missed.
So I kind of just want the Tamer's box for the playmat so I can hang that up in my room.
Yeah, that's going to make a nice little postery thing.
Yeah.
And then we have the 16th web poll. Which Digimon do you think is the smartest?
I'm having trouble with this one because I want to be cute with this one, but I keep coming back to like it's just gonna be like Wisemon or something.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Who do you think it should be, and who do you think it will be?
Oh, who do I think it will be? I'll probably
It'll be
Omegamon win it again.
That's
This fandom has no chill about Omegamon, so
yeah,
he's still a prohibitive favorite.
And every
Omegamon Hakase.
And every time,
Akase, there we go.
And every
I want to
time,
see someone draw him with a Professor Lab coat.
I just like that every time he shows up, you get a bunch of people who have not paid attention going, why would Omegamon be voted the top in a poll? Why indeed?
Because these fans.
Yeah, Wisemon feel... The only issue I have with the choice is the people go, no, the profiles clearly state that this Digimon knows everything. And then the profiles state that this Digimon also knows everything, so it has to be one of those. And no, like a number of people were saying they were voting for Racielmon because her profile says that she has God's wisdom or something along those lines, and people are gonna be upset when it's Terriermon Assistant or something.
Yeah, it's either going to be Omegamon, Agumon Akase, or Terriermon Assistant.
I could actually.
It's gonna be like Omegamon Master's Degree.
I could actually see Wisemon winning just because his appearances have generally been, look at how smart he is.
Omegamon PhD.
Just give him a little hat.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a new form.
Yeah, so
there'll be a jump figure of it next year.
Okay. Now for the important thing. Our next episode will be November 2nd. When we do that episode, will we have the results of the dress up Halloween poll or no?
Probably.
I hope so. Because we were joking last time that they were going to do the Simpsons thing and just do it in November, so we'll see. And look, it's a karaoke collaboration. And so it's the new show at Karates, which they've done many karaoke collaborations. The drinks this time almost look drinkable. I mean, I don't want to drink any of them still, but these at least look like actual drinks this time. Not ones that I like, but...
Yeah, I don't know about that crushed grape jelly foundation there. Oops.
See, but I could almost imagine that being mixed up and being not drinkable, but pleasant to some people.
At least they went back with the sesame puns already.
Yeah,
that wasn't a long break.
To be fair, that one's far too easy to go for. Because, yeah. And
yeah, the Joe drink looks disgusting. It just looks like...
I mean...
It looks like contrast.
None of these look that appealing to me. I'm sure these are at least drinkable, though. The ones last time were not.
There was one last time I thought would be
Hikari
okay.
one just looks like...
the drinkable one last was the Takaru one. And the Takaru one was just, this is lemon soda.
I didn't mind the Sora one last time. This one, I think Hikari, or maybe I might even venture trying Taichi.
Yeah, I don't want any of these.
But that's it.
Yeah, so someone's going to ask if we're going to try these, and my response is going to be $100, and you pay for the ingredients. And I will try drinking one during the show and not like it. But no. Coasters you get with these, which are in theory the real reasons why people are going to buy these drinks.
Using kind of new art.
It's new art. It feels like it's meant to be in the style of the Blu-ray box art for the original Adventure. But I did check; it is all new. None of it's traced over. Although it really does feel like that this is a piece of art we've seen 100 times. Even though, all
of it does. They haven't done any interesting art in a long time.
The Blu-ray cover is really interesting.
Is it?
Yeah, I really like that stuff. I like the Koshiro one especially.
Yeah, but at least the Blu-ray art is at least supposed to be, the base designs in general. Like, this is a chance for them to mix it up a little bit and do something more thematic, and they keep using the same kids,
Nah,
same
art.
clothing. No.
The only time they do that is when it's a shop or a theme place where they do custom art for stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
I wish they'd do a couple more of those. Like that was fun when they rolled those out for
the
Prime
graph art
Kizuna.
ones.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed those.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just tired of like the general like clip art looking artwork.
Right.
Well, but people keep buying this crap. I mean, if we're not, but someone's going to be buying the giant can badge, the small can badges, and the 2 different types of acrylic stands. I actually like the look of the big ones, though, to be honest.
Big ones look okay, yeah.
We need better shots of the art from the small ones, which is where the art actually looks interesting. I just like the look of it. But yeah, this is going to be running November 7th through January 6th. And they will be selling the products online. I don't think any of us are going to. AR will buy it if in a year from now he's at a convention and he sees one sitting there and he'll flash back to this and go, damn it, and he'll buy one.
I don't know what these are still so generic that I'm not really
You'll be
interested.
so excited to be at a convention that you'll go ahead and do it.
Well, then again, there's also raiding the artist alley and getting like fancier stuff instead.
Yeah, because at Artist Alley they can be a little more creative with stuff.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. And we actually do get some creative art with. Did you guys see these Chinese posters for Kizuna?
Yeah, yes, I fucking loved those.
I did not know those were official. I saw those, I'm like, oh, that's some really badass fan art.
No, as far as I'm aware, it's official, and I even checked with the person who sent them, and as far as they're aware, yes, they are official.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, so first up we have the 2 basic posters. We have the normal art of Taichi and Agumon. Then we get one where like it's the character profile art, but then some of the Digimon they've replaced with like SD art, which I think was from some products we talked about in February. Like Gabumon and Gomamon are the ones where they've shoved in like SD art that doesn't really fit.
Yeah.
But I still like the Gomamon shot. And then we get the 4 shots of them in their original kid designs, and it just looks so nice. It's
This is what I mean about switching it up. Like, do stuff like this.
Well, here's the thing. It's nice, but it's also 100% not the movie in any way.
Oh no, not at all. But
no,
I mean, you could do something. You could do something similar to this for the new series.
Oh no, you're right. Now, someone did point out something very odd about these. Sora and Peelmon are not in any together. Dev, I think your microphone's cutting out. Oh wait, no, there you are. Okay. Yeah, for whatever reason, everyone's drawn with their partners, or at least their partners in the same shot. But there's 2 of them with Sora, 1 with Peelmon, and they just are not there together. It feels odd.
I mean, I do see one where it looks like Yamato doesn't have Gabumon in the picture.
Yeah, but that's at least just one of them. The other one, he's sitting right there.
No, I don't know if that's a...
Well, that one, it's pretty crowded
Yeah,
already.
sure.
But yeah, all 4 of those are nice. I like the logo, to be honest. It really goes well.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And then because the art never stops, the Kenji Watanabe art this time, it's like a minimal is the wrong word, but like a painted style, which looks really good. I like the pose, but anytime I see it as a thumbnail, I keep going, this looks weird. He didn't do this in the episode. And then when I see bigger, I'm like, oh, it's the art. For some reason, when I see it small, it keeps coming across like a screenshot.
Focus on the railgun.
Yeah.
All about the railgun.
Yeah, that looks great. The profile art of him looks nice, but also kind of basic because we've gotten so much nice art lately that this type of standard profile art almost kind of looks overly normal. If that makes sense. Like, I just don't know what to... Looks okay. I really don't know what to say about it, to be honest. It's nice. And then we got Dark Bale.
Generically cool.
Yeah, it sort of blends in with, it's like in the end of the day, it's like, oh, just another Digimon.
Yeah. I still like every Kenji Watanabe piece we've been getting lately has been better than the last. It's just been nice.
Look forward to getting so much new artwork.
Yeah, and then time for questions, so you guys in the chat can start thinking of those. Well, we start with the ones we sent. Now, normally I don't. If something's too basic, sometimes it doesn't get included. But for some reason, I just liked this question being asked, and with no additional details. What do you think of Blitz Greymon? AR?
Very red. He's very red.
Dev?
That's all I got.
Okay, no Dev, so I will go.
I'm alive.
Oh,
I thought you were going next.
No. You go ahead, Dev.
He is also very red, and I kind of wanted that little figurine they had of them from the capsule figures a while back.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
I like
that it's do a Blitz Greymon. Yeah.
I like the way that it's just an alternate version of War Greymon, basically taking every concept of War Greymon and putting a spin on it. I just kind of like that.
I wonder if he's 3 times faster.
Maybe he can drop a meteor on people. Let's see. Then Cootie Fox wants to know, do we think the egg will hatch as Patamon or Tokamon?
I mean, I'm all in. I hope it's Pabumon. Let's go all in here.
Yeah, I was assuming it'd be a baby one and would just evolve quickly, to be honest.
I don't assume anything with this show. It could be Patamon for all we
know.
Yeah,
it could.
Like, it's... I would say... I would hope that it's at least Tokamon, because they did show Koromon in episode 1. So yes. I think Tokamon's a very real possibility.
Yeah.
But if they want to speed things along...
go with, like, Playomon. Just have a quick
Pokemon, that's right. That's its name. Pabumon is Tentomon's.
Yeah.
Okay. Then someone said they hadn't played many Japanese RPG games and they kind of like Hacker's Memory. We've talked about it being just kind of all right. Got any recommendations for good things to try next?
Persona. You could dabble your feet in the Persona. What I suggest is if you don't want to go all in for Persona 5 on PS4, Persona 4 is on Steam right now.
I think it's on sale right now, in fact.
It might be on sale right now. I bought it a while ago. I bought it a while ago. I haven't picked it up yet, but I'd go for Persona 4 if you like Hacker's Memory.
I would wait a few weeks and get I don't know what consoles or computer whoever has, because Dragon Quest XI-S is being ported to everything in like 2 or 3 weeks. If you want a Japanese RPG and you don't know where to start, you might as well start with that one, because if you play that game and go, this is not for me, then you're probably done with Japanese RPGs.
No, I didn't really get into Dragon. I picked up an earlier Dragon Quest game and didn't really get into it, but I do like other ones.
I would say 11 is the standard bearer of the genre. It is basically pulled in everything from anything.
Okay.
I suggest like one of the Tales of series, because those are pretty accessible.
Those are good choices.
At this point on like almost every console in existence. A lot of them are old enough that you could probably get them, pretty cheap.
Although Tales of has a very different combat system. That's worth pointing out.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have that really. That doesn't have that.
That's crap! We missed. Get something like Chrono Trigger.
I mean, yeah. If you really want to go basic, you can always do an old like Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, something like that would be fine too.
Secret of Mana might be a good way to or even the remake of Trials of Mana could be a good way to ease you in, because it has all the RPG stuff, but the battling is a bit more action Zelda-y.
Mm-hmm. One reason I recommend Persona, though, is it does have that. It is a modern setting, as opposed to a lot of these other options, which
you're right.
Might appeal to you if you're into that aesthetic of Hacker's Memory.
The aesthetic is very close, so that's actually a good choice.
That said, Persona 4 is very rural as opposed to 3 and 5. So I don't know.
Well, if they don't mind spoilers, they could always check out like one of the Games Done Quick streams and see gameplay.
I don't know if
Skills.
does that do so well for RPGs. Though?
I think for RPGs, the experience
It does have a lot
is
of
so.
RPGs.
Well, no, I'm saying
I think they do it for RPGs. Is it
I,
that?
I think we're saying the experience of an RPG is so different. Because here's the thing, like, if you see someone playing Mario, even if they're speedrunning, you get an idea of what it is. I think an RPG, especially a JRPG, is so significantly different that the speedrunning isn't necessarily playing the game, which often can be 50, 60, 70 hours. I think is what me and AR mean in this case.
Yes, basically, yeah.
Yeah. And Scale wants to know, do you think we're getting a new spin on Devimon? Could we have, Angemon's evolution defeat him instead? I think they've been. We're getting a new spin on what he's doing. I don't know if we'll get a new spin on him because we haven't seen enough of him to know yet.
I think they will find a way to make him more powerful just by necessity.
I mean,
like
he easily could be already. For all we know.
Like it won't be just adult level Devimon, and I don't think they can get away with having him beaten the same way because Angemon already died once.
You can't really kill Angemon again. I mean, you can.
I mean, you can. Frontier did it. Frontier killed Seraphimon and Angemon in the same series, so you can do it. I just don't think they will.
We'll see. Then someone wants to know, what Digimon partners would you give the cast of Haruhi?
Curse you for making me look at this, look this up and think about this.
I didn't think of it at all. Someone sent it to the Curious Cat. And I just went. This is such a different question. I felt obligated to throw it in, even though I was going to put in no effort to looking it up.
If we're going with the English dub, Kyon is Gaomon, Haruhi is Patamon, Mikuru is Ponchesmon, Yuki is Kazemon, and Itsuki is Patamon again. There, we're done.
I think you could give Digimon to everyone except Haruhi, because I think the instant you make her aware she's special, you've just broken that magic, which the show even points out.
Oh, if you're going to do that, then give it... I was going to say, I originally actually do like the idea of Patamon for Haruhi. I think they're very compatible, just very personality-wise. But if you're gonna try to keep that mystique of Haruhi, you end up giving it something like really kind of boring and dull. Like that's where you give her like Kamemon or something.
And it just doesn't occur to her that she has a talking turtle next to her?
She'll think it's the most normal thing because in this world all of them have partners.
Oh, you just give partners to everybody?
Well, all the partners in the club would have. I mean, the 5. I signed partners to all 5 of them. So,
okay.
So I gave I think Kyon having a Gomamon would just make his life even more hell. So I like that. For Mikuru, I think giving her Solarmon that turns into Clockmon just seems weirdly appropriate. I think Mikuru would be like scared of Solarmon. I think she'd just kind of hate the concept of it. For Yuki, just because Yuki is just so out there, she'd probably end up having Hackmon, the Appmon. And nobody asks questions about that. But if I had to give her a Digimon, probably Bakumon. And I don't know why, but I can't get it out of my head that Itsuki would have Morphomon and everyone would just be confused.
I don't remember enough of the series to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whoever sent that in, you got answers from AR, and you got me cheating to not answer, and you got Dev not answering. Hooray!
Don't say I don't prep for this.
And then Ian asks, do you think Koshiro will get a dramatic, introspective mid-series episode this time? I hope so. I think...
Yeah, we hope so. I'm not banking on it.
I mean, I think you have to do...
There's stuff going on with his parents when
there's something.
I want this show to do dramatic, introspective anything right now. We haven't gotten any of that yet.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like they're about to start, so...
Yeah.
Cross your fingers, like there is something going on with his parents that I hope they get to, but we don't know what. But let's hope they get introspective at some point, because good God, this is going to be a long series if they don't.
And that leads into our next question nicely. Someone said, I don't understand how you talk about the show. You guys seem to jump between enjoying it and being overly picky. You also seem to still think positively of even many of the episodes you don't like, because we can watch the show and go, that was a nice 30-minute watch, but it wasn't necessarily great. There's times sorry, go ahead.
No,
we can go like, this is a hot garbage dump, and it was fantastic.
Like, for example,
I reviewed all of Hunters, so
there's times when I've sat in a movie theater, enjoyed the movie more or less, but the instant I tried to talk or think about the movie, it just fell apart in my hands. The best example of this was a few years ago, the Power Ranger movie. I remember sitting in the theater and enjoying the reboot movie. And I remember walking out and talking to the person I went with, and the more I talked about the movie, even with Victor later, and even just chatting with people via instant messenger later, the more I talked about the movie, the more I disliked it, to the point that I don't like the movie. And I was perfectly happy enjoying it, sitting there watching it.
That was that's how I felt about Kazuna a lot of the time, actually. It's like the more I talk about Kazuna, the less I like it, but the experience itself was really good.
Yeah, it's like, so we are going to be, we're going to be positive, we're going to be negative.
I'm sort of the opposite with the new series, though, is that I don't get a whole lot of joy out of actually watching it, but at the same time I realize that on its technical merits, and most of those things that you have to factor into when dissecting an episode, it holds up very well compared to the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Like, compared to the rest of the franchise, this is still one of the better produced series.
But that's also a reason why to be pickier about it, because we almost have higher expectations for the show than we would just rewatching X.
Yeah, and the first episode was fantastic. Like, I really loved how they introduced the show, and we have seen it have these high points. So when they get into this, like, we're in episode 20 now, and it's still kind of middling, and we still don't really know who these kids are, it is getting a little concerning, because it does feel like this is a show that is very competent. It's very competently produced and has so much potential to tell a fantastic story, but they're still kind of doing the most basic things and not really challenging themselves in any way as far as the storytelling aspect.
Yeah, and that's where we are going to be negative about it, because we have expectations that are, I don't feel they're out of whack for the show, but that maybe our expectations grew too quickly for what we were going to get.
Yeah, maybe.
And now it's at the point where I will sit there, I'm happy watching the episode, but I'll go, don't like this, this is good. But the episode itself may just be kind of middling compared to others, or things from other shows that I'm watching, because
we love Digimon, and we want it to do well.
Yeah. Good. Here's the thing. It is a good series. It may be the best series. Maybe.
I mean,
so far.
Well, I mean, we were talking. Remember at the beginning of the show, in the first like 2 or 3 episodes, I was talking about how it's like I almost had to change my curve a little bit to downgrade episodes just a little bit more than I would normally, because I expected the show to reach the heights of the old scale more consistently, and that hasn't really happened. Like, this episode got a C+. That's a C+. Like, this is comparable. Like, yes, this is comparable to the Christmas episode of Atmon. That's how I feel about this one.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we are being extra picky, though, because we simply have expectations for the show that the show gave us. So like, for example, I'm enjoying watching it week to week, even when I'm not super happy episode by episode. It's fun to sit there and spend a half hour watching it. I just wish that.
I don't know if I'm enjoying it so much anymore.
I'm still enjoying it, but it's to the point where I'm like, I don't want to sit through 6 episodes of power-ups. I really don't.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. if they do it the same way they do it in this episode, I don't know if I'll be happy or annoyed, because here's the thing, it's not like it was a drawn out, obvious power up episode where, like in an evolution episode, you can kind of tell what they're doing. Here,
Yeah.
it maybe wasn't so. So I don't know if I'd prefer that where they kind of do nothing and then it happens because of one thing at the end, or if we were getting the long drawn out, oh look, it's the Joe episode and Zudomon's gonna have 5 hammers at the end, or if it's just gonna surprise us with it. I don't know which I'd prefer.
Maybe a bit of variety.
Yeah, so we'll see what comes up with it. Let's see. Ramon wants to know, what costume will we be wearing on Halloween?
That
Like
implies
Doctor.
that
I'll
I'm
be
not
dressed.
wearing a Halloween.
I'll be dressed as someone with self-respect who is also staying at home and probably doing work that night, I expect. Oh
I
wait,
was gonna
that's
say,
Saturday. We'll be watching Digimon.
yeah, I was gonna say we was gonna just stay at home and do nothing, but I'm actually taking the kid to my parents for Halloween, so I'm not gonna have a costume though. You should have asked this question last year, because last year I went as Adam from Beetlejuice, and it was great. It was great because I went to a party with like actual, master level cosplay people. Like these are people that go around and do like national competitions, and she was also dressed as Adam and acknowledged that mine was better. And I felt very good about that.
I mean, I'll probably be hitting the Renaissance Fair this year, depending on the weather, because it is open on Halloween, and I just kind of like want to be outside. But at the same time, it's been downpouring all week, so if it's gonna be rainy as hell, I'm not like driving an hour away into like the middle of bumblefuck
Yeah.
Lancaster to sit under an umbrella.
We'll be lucky if we don't get snow on Saturday.
No snow out here, I'll say.
We got no snow here last year, and we're usually like
It's
thigh deep in it.
it's
Oh,
gonna
we
be
got a dusting yesterday.
it's gonna be so cold in California. I may turn the fan down from 2 to 1. And then the last one that was sent in ahead of time. Did you enjoy any other things that ended sadly or negatively like Kazuna?
Tamers?
That feels like one of my cheaty answers, to be honest.
It is, but when I thought about it, I don't really tend to enjoy things that end sad or negatively. Like I like it when the plot hurts the characters midway through, but I usually prefer that they overcome that in the end. So I tend not to gravitate towards sad negative endings. So I guess outside of Digimon, I think the only thing I can think of that I really enjoy having a downer ending is like Into the Woods or something, because the characters kind of deserve it.
Yeah, I had to think about this one a bit because I didn't want to. There were a few more recent things. I didn't want to answer those because give people a chance to watch things on their own. I thought about not including the bad attempt to do a modern reboot of it, but Reboot. Do you remember how Reboot ends?
Not
It's been
well.
so long.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know it didn't have a. I know it had
remember.
a. I know it didn't have a happy ending.
Megabyte takes over the city. He literally starts to hunt the main characters, and the series ends because they thought for sure they were going to get to do more. So they literally end it with him hunting everyone.
I don't know if that. See, I don't tend to count those when they're abruptly cut off, though.
See, here's the thing: it doesn't come off as abruptly off, though. They don't play it as, oh, it's the cliffhanger to be continued. They play it as he's won and now he's starting to hunt everyone. Now, obviously that is a cliffhanger, but the way it's played, they just end it with him doing that. They don't do it as, oh, and the characters are like, will win, that last heroic harumph that you tend to get at moments like that with a cliffhanger. It's just him eyeballing the camera and then everyone being hunted.
Yeah, see, I don't know if that ending overall is appropriate for the overall story of Reboot, though, so I can't quite sign off on that.
Okay, then when they killed Spock at the end of Star Trek 2.
That's better.
The one that came to mind most, especially because I saw it like not too recently, was No Game, No Life, Zero.
Didn't watch it.
All the main characters pretty much die horribly.
Hooray! Don't know how to respond to that, but okay. What were you saying before, AR? I think you were gonna say something.
I mean, like Spock 2 is that's an okay answer.
Yeah.
Like that's like that was that. I mean, it's a movie, so it's obviously kind of designed to end that way. So, like
Hey,
that works.
I could have said Data and Nemesis, and everyone hates Nemesis. God, it's such a fucking terrible movie.
I don't know. I'm gonna go back to Tamers if we're gonna be like this. I actually did. I mean, in my review, I did compare Kazuna's ending to Tamers. And when you think about it, though,
so
like,
AR, when you talk about the ending of Tamers, though, how do you feel about Renamon trying to kill them all?
I'm talking mainly about the main series.
You mean
if you want to include that as part of the Tamers,
do you really want to? Do you really want to though?
I mean, I do because I'm here for that, but but yeah, like when you think about it, most seasons of Digimon do end on at least somewhat melancholic notes.
I think that's why it doesn't affect me as much as it could, though.
Yeah, like 02 is kind of the exception to that. Everything else does end with generally the characters saying goodbye to their Digimon. It's the disruptions are what catch you off guard when they get to have a legitimately happy ending, like 02, or in a weird way savers with Masaru, like, oh, to hell with it, I'm gonna go back to the digital world. Or
I mean, Appmon I totally would.
Appmon runs both ways.
See, I have to be honest. I want to bring up. Oh, well, Hunters ended well. I don't remember how. I literally don't remember.
Hunters was.
I blocked it out.
Yeah, Hunters ended. I don't remember how Hunters ended. It ended with It ended with them, like, there was a bit of melancholy for a moment until they decided, you know what, we'll give you a few more months or so with your Digimon, and Gumdramon's there in the corner. So
yeah, I don't remember at all.
Hunters was a little bit of a subversion of that in a way. So they sort of like, they were kind of teasing that same melancholic ending, and they were like, you know what, just this once as a treat, we're gonna keep you guys together for a little bit.
Yeah. AR, where can they find you? I think we're about done. So where can they find you?
They can find me at digimon.firstagent.net is my review site. First Agent ARP is my Twitter.
Anything fun coming up on your stuff outside of your weekly bashing the show?
Not this week. I'm just sort of plowing away at my story, so
okay, that makes sense.
On my Tumblr, I'll probably get more into answering more questions that people send in. So if you're on my Tumblr, do send in questions and stuff, because I do answer those when I get around to them.
I was about to say it sounds like it's a perfect time for people to send in questions about your crap to us. But yes, they should send them to you.
Well, it's always a good time to send in questions about my crap.
Dev, what Wikimon article would you like people to read?
I was gonna have a different but just like, let's go with Blitzgreymon. And make sure to look at the gallery images, which have like the little fun figurines in there.
You can see how red he is.
I regret to whoever sent that in, please do not do the same for Kreskarumon, because I will not put it in if it's just because they're just gonna go. They're just gonna go. He's gold.
But he has a blue cape.
I don't even. Isn't his cape like purple on one side and white on the other?
I think he also has like a tail that's white, if I remember.
I would not be able to answer that question without looking at the picture. And the answer would still be just what
rearranged. Yeah, his head was like arranged, sitting really weirdly in the art, where I thought it was like a shoulder pauldron, but no, that's actually his face.
I can be found at WtW, of course, and we will see you guys next week. Do we have anything else to say before we move on this time?
I don't think so. Just want to
Okay.
get this episode over with and move on.
I shall take that as a no. We will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.